Welcome to our channel Crime Loom, the place where true crime story come alive.
New Year's Eve in London is supposed to be a night of celebration. Fireworks fill the sky. Crowds gather. The city counts down together, welcoming hope and a fresh start. On December 31st, 2023, thousands climbed Primrose Hill to watch the fireworks over the skyline. But just minutes before midnight, celebration turned into chaos. A sudden argument, a single knife, and a 16-year-old boy, Harry Pittman, lost his life. As fireworks exploded above London, a family's world ended below. This is the true story of the Primrose Hill stabbing and how one moment changed New Year's Eve forever. On the final night of 2023, London was alive with anticipation. Across the city, streets filled with people dressed in winter coats. Scarves pulled tight against the cold, phones charged and ready. New Year's Eve had always been one of London's biggest nights. It was a moment when strangers gathered together, counting down the final seconds of the year, sharing hope for what came next. As the evening progressed, crowds moved toward the best viewing spots. One of the most popular locations was Primrose Hill. From its high ground, the hill offered a sweeping view of the London skyline. Every year, thousands climbed its slopes to watch fireworks explode over the city. It was known as a peaceful place, open to everyone, and especially popular with young people. Among the crowd that night was Harry Pittman. At just 16 years old, he was at the beginning of his life. Like many teenagers, he had gone out to enjoy the moment with friends. There was no sense that the night would end in tragedy. To those around him, it was simply another New Year's Eve. As midnight approached, the hill became increasingly crowded. People stood close together, trying to secure the best view. Music played from portable speakers, laughter mixed with shouting as the noise level rose. In large gatherings like this, emotions can run high. Small incidents can easily turn into arguments when space is limited, and alcohol is involved. Witnesses later explained that shortly before midnight, a disagreement broke out between a group of teenagers. At first, it appeared minor. Raised voices, angry looks, a shove. In most cases, moments like this end quickly, especially in public places surrounded by people. But on this night, it did not. The argument escalated rapidly. Within seconds, the situation turned violent. A knife was produced. In the confusion and chaos, Harry Pittman was stabbed in the chest. The reaction from the crowd was immediate and chaotic. Some people screamed, others ran, a few stood frozen in shock, unable to process what they were seeing. Harry collapsed to the ground as friends rushed to his side, desperately trying to help him. Emergency services were alerted almost instantly. Police officers already deployed for New Year's Eve crowd control responded first. Paramedics followed soon after, pushing through the dense crowd with medical equipment. As they worked to save Harry's life, fireworks began to explode in the sky above London. The contrast was haunting. While the city celebrated the arrival of 2024, a teenager lay dying on a hillside below, despite the efforts of bystanders and emergency crews. Harry Pittman was pronounced dead at the scene. He never saw the new year begin. The mood at Primrose Hill changed instantly. What had been a place of celebration became a crime scene. Police cordoned off sections of the park with tape. Officers moved people away, asking witnesses to remain for questioning. Blue emergency lights flashed against the night sky, illuminating shocked faces. Many people did not immediately understand what had happened. Some continued filming fireworks, unaware of the tragedy unfolding nearby. Others left the area in silence, shaken and confused. News of the stabbing spread rapidly through social media and news alerts. By the early hours of New Year's Day, headlines across the UK reported that a teenage boy had been stabbed to death at Primrose Hill. The story sparked outrage, grief, and disbelief. How could such violence occur during a public celebration? How could someone so young lose his life in a place meant for joy? The Metropolitan Police launched a murder investigation. Detectives worked through the night and into the following days, gathering evidence from multiple sources. Witness statements were taken from people who had been nearby. CCTV footage from surrounding streets was reviewed. Mobile phone videos recorded by members of the public became a key part of the investigation. In modern crimes, especially those that occur in crowded public places, digital evidence plays a crucial role. Almost everyone carries a camera. Every angle, every movement, every moment can be captured. In this case, that footage helped police identify those involved in the altercation. Soon, a teenage suspect was arrested. His name was Eris Lloyd Hall. Like the victim, he was also under 18. The fact that both the attacker and the victim were teenagers intensified public concern and debate. Police confirmed that the stabbing was not the result of a long-running feud or organized gang activity. Instead, it appeared to be a spontaneous act of violence. An argument that escalated in seconds. A decision made in anger, a knife carried without thought of the consequences. As the investigation continued, tributes appeared at Primrose Hill. Flowers, candles, and handwritten notes were left by strangers and friends alike. Many messages spoke of lost potential, of a life taken too soon, of anger at a system that allows young people to carry knives. Harry's family released statements expressing their devastation. They described him as a loved son and friend, taken far too early. Their grief resonated with parents across the country, many of whom feared for their own children. Months later, the case reached court. The trial was held at the Old Bailey, a place associated with some of the most serious criminal cases in the UK. Inside the courtroom, the atmosphere was tense and emotional. Prosecutors laid out the events of New Year's Eve in detail. They presented witness testimony, forensic evidence, and video footage. The jury heard how quickly the argument escalated and how fatal the consequences had been. Medical experts explained that the wound was unsurvivable. The prosecution argued that carrying a knife into a crowded public celebration showed extreme recklessness. They emphasized that no level of anger or fear justified taking a life. The defense acknowledged the stabbing but focused on the age of the defendant. They argued that he had acted impulsively, without fully understanding the consequences of his actions. They pointed to his background and mental state, urging the court to consider youth and immaturity. The jury listened carefully. They reviewed hours of evidence. They watched footage that many found deeply disturbing. After deliberation, they returned a verdict. Heiress Lloyd Hall was found guilty of murder. The verdict brought a measure of justice, but not closure. For Harry's family, no court decision could undo the loss. For the defendant's family, the verdict marked the destruction of another young life. Now behind bars. In 2025, sentencing took place. The judge addressed the court with gravity. He described the crime as senseless and entirely preventable. He spoke about the devastating impact on Harry's family and the wider community. The judge sentenced Lloyd Hall to life imprisonment, with a minimum term reflecting the seriousness of the offense. While youth was considered, the court made clear that the taking of a life carried consequences that could not be ignored. The case reignited national debate about knife crime in the UK. Politicians referenced Primrose Hill as an example of how quickly violence can erupt. Community leaders called for stronger intervention programs. Police leaders spoke about the challenges of policing massive crowds. During events like New Year's Eve, knife crime has been a long-standing issue in London and other UK cities. While overall crime rates fluctuate, knife-related violence involving young people remains a critical concern. Many argue that enforcement alone is not enough. Following the stabbing, authorities reviewed security arrangements for future New Year's Eve events. Popular viewing locations received increased patrols. Some areas introduced tighter crowd controls. But critics argued that deeper social issues remained unaddressed. Schools, youth organizations, and charities spoke out. They emphasized early education, mentorship, and community support as essential tools in preventing violence. Former victims' families urged the government to act before another tragedy occurred. For many Londoners, New Year's Eve has never felt the same since 2023. Fireworks still light the sky. Crowds still gather. But the memory of Primrose Hill lingers as a reminder of how fragile safety can be. The case became more than a single crime. It became a symbol of lost youth, of moments that spiral out of control, of how one decision, made in anger, can change countless lives forever. Harry Pittman was 16 years old. He went out to celebrate the new year. He never came home. His death stands as a warning and a call for reflection about violence, about responsibility, about protecting young lives before celebrations turn into crime scenes. A night meant for hope ended in tragedy. A celebration became a murder investigation, and a new year began with loss that will never be forgotten. New Year's Eve will always return. Fireworks will still light the sky. Crowds will still gather to celebrate hope and new beginnings. But for the family of Harry Pittman, time stopped on that night in 2023. One argument, one knife, one decision made in seconds that can never be undone. The tragedy at Primrose Hill is a reminder that violence does not announce itself. It appears suddenly, even in moments meant for joy. As another year begins, this story asks a difficult question. How many lives must be lost before celebration no longer turns into tragedy? And how many futures can still be saved if action is taken in time?
For watching more amazing videos like this, subscribe our channel Crime Loom.